Hey guys, Mr. Roden here. Hope everyone's having a good day before break here. If you're seeing this right the day before Thanksgiving, you're going to receive a piece of paper, and I want you to do one fold just like that. I think it's a hamburger fold. Let's see if I can do. I'm trying to do it in the camera here. Okay. So we got one fold, then turn it over, do another fold. So we folded it twice, and now we're going to do one more fold. Okay. So it's going to look this big right here. Here, let me see here. So it's going to look this big. Here's a pen, so it looks about that big, all right? So you're going to have 8 boxes on the front and 8 boxes on the back. Go ahead and number your boxes from 1 to, you can go 16, although I don't think we'll get to 16 today. And put your first and last name in box 1. That's the first thing I want you to do. And you are going to turn this piece of paper in to the teacher, so make sure you get that done, all right? So once you have that done, you can pause me, and then we'll start doing this. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is just practice some things we've been doing lately in our class. I'm going to do a few of them, and then you're going to do a few of them too. Make sure your name is in box 1. So if your name is Samuel Globbins, make sure you are clearly writing out Samuel Globbins, okay? I don't know how to spell Samuel. All right, and that's box 1. All right, so first, guy, let's take a look at this. Now, the whole key here is we want to be able to use our algebra, our motor scooter, right? We don't want to just find it in our heads. We want to figure out. So the first thing I'm looking at is I think angle C is going to be the way to go right here. So what I'm going to do is I know that those angles are supplementary because they are two angles that form an 180-degree angle. So my equation for this one could be C plus 26 equals 180, because we know that the straight line equals 180. This straight line right here, and this is all stuff we've been doing, so there's no big surprises here. This blue straight line is 180 degrees, and we have two angles that are making up that straight line. So after that, if this is my left side and this is my right side, I always want to get the variable by itself. When I say variable, I mean, in this case, I mean C. I want to get C by itself. I don't want anything on the left side that's connected to the C. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and subtract 26 off both sides. Subtract 26 off both sides. And so those cancel out. Now they cancel out to 0, but I never write the 0. It's not even spooky. It's just not there. And if I have a C already there, I'm just going to copy down that C just like that. Okay. Now I got to do a little math over here. So some of you can do that in your head. That's probably okay if you can do that in your head. But if you want to take 180 and subtract 26, I can just probably do it right here. So can't take 6 from 0. So we'll make this a 7, make this a 10. That becomes a 4. 7 minus 2 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. So our answer is C equals 154. And if we wanted to, I won't make you do it here. We could check our solution by putting it in the original equation and seeing that 154 plus 26 is 180. Okay? Okay, so this next problem, guys, is a complementary angle. Complementary. So remember what complementary is. Complementary. Complementary means two angles that add up to 90 degrees. And we know it's a 90 degrees, obviously, because this box in the corner. Again, guys, this is nothing new. You guys know this. This is easy, cheesy, teasy, peasy, teasy stuff. All right, so here we go. So we know we can write our equation, but I do want to see this work. I don't want you just to write answer. If you just write the answer, I'm going to give you a 0 for this assignment. You don't want a 0 for this easy assignment. Make sure you're writing everything down. How do you write everything down? Well, we got to use our equation first. A plus 42 equals 90. Make sure you have written down. Make sure you do a fairness bar. I like to write left and right. If you don't need that, great, but I like to write it just so I remember I have to do the same thing to the left and the right side of the fairness bar. All right, well, I want to get this A by itself right here, guys. I want to isolate the A. I want A all by itself. Well, how do I isolate the A? Well, I'm adding 42, so now I'm just going to go ahead and subtract 42. I'm going to subtract 42. Okay, so when I subtract 42, those cancel out, and now I get A equals what's 90 minus 42. Well, you can't take 2 from 0, so make the 9 into an 8, make the 0 into a 10. 10 minus 2 is 8, and 8 minus 4 is 8. So A equals 88 degrees. And if we wanted to plug it back into the equation, we could put the 88 right there for 8, A, and then 88 plus 42 is 90. And I know you guys could do that in your head, but it's not about doing math in your head. It's about practicing on easy problems, and then we'll get harder problems and we'll be good at our algebra. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay, so this one, number 4, I want you to copy down, and I want you to write an equation and solve. Write an equation and solve. So when I look at box 4, you should have the correct answer. So when I grade this, I should just be able to see your work and a correct answer there, and I'll give you some points. So that's how I'm going to grade this. I showed you how to do the first 3. You do number 4 all on your own. So pause me and do number 4. And then go ahead and do number 5. Pause me and do number 5. And remember, writing an equation. Don't forget to write your equation. Okay, solve it. So those are on you. Go ahead and do those really quick before you move on with the video. All right, so now we're on to a little more challenging and fun problem. Not much. It's not that much more challenging. But let's see here. Well, how can I got to find 2 variables. I got to find x and I got to find y. Well, how would I do that? Let's see, guys. Well, I think x is going to be pretty easy. I'm going to write 2 equations here. Let's write an x equation here, guys. Well, we know that this angle right here is a right angle because it gives us a square in the corner, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to write an equation for x because they're complementary. X plus 41 equals 90. And then I'm going to solve for x by subtracting 41 from both sides. 41 cancels 41 and we get 0. So now we get x equals, now we're going to borrow from the 9 and make it an 8, make the 0 into a 10. 10 minus 1 is 9, and 8 minus 4 is 4. So we get x equals 49 degrees. Now, we're not done, are we, class? Because we now need to write a y equation, right? Well, I'm going to just kind of put that 49 degrees in here right now. So what could we do to find y? Well, if we notice, guys, there's a couple ways to look at it here. This angle is 90 right here, right? This is 90. So this is 90. So if we just figure out, let's see here. What can we do here? So let's see here. We could do, if we want to find y, well, we know that this is going to be 90 also right here. Let me just show you this angle. This angle right here is also going to be 90 because that green angle is vertical. These are, remember the vertical angles. So this angle, the green box is vertical to the red box. These 2 angles are vertical, and vertical angles are always equal. So let me get rid of all that. That's a little messy. So basically what I'm trying to get at, guys, is we could say that 49 plus y is also equal to 90, okay? Because now I know that this is 49 and this is y, and they're going to add up to a right angle right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and figure that one out. This is my left side. This is my right side. So here we go. I'm going to solve for y. I'm going to subtract 49 from both sides. I'm going to subtract 49 from both sides. The 49's cancel to 0. I'll bring down my y. All right, so it can't take 9 from 0, so we're going to borrow, make 0 into a 10. Minus 1 is 10 minus 9 is 1. And then we got 8 minus 4. We get 81 degrees there, right? And those are our 2 answers, okay? All right, that's a little colorful, that problem right there. All right, let's keep moving on, guys. Let's see here. Okay, I want you guys to go ahead and do number 7 on your own. So pause me and write an equation. So don't forget to write your equation. This is on your own. And guys, if you just skip over these on your own problems, I'm going to give you a bad grade. Okay, I'm going to give you a bad grade, so don't do that. Try at least, right? If you get it wrong, are you going to get an F? No. If you don't try it, are you going to get an F? Yeah, I'm going to give you an F. I'm going to give you a 0 if you don't try these guys. There's no sense in just copying down my stuff if you're not going to try them. So on your own, you must try at least, okay? If you miss it, I'll be more, you show me an equation and we can see what you did, great. But if you just do the problem so I can give you credit. All right, so this next one's a little more fun, okay? And this is it's getting a little more interesting. I'm up in the difficulty, and this is in box 8. Now, in box 8, we want to figure out what the value of E is here. Now, if you notice, guys, this from here to here is a straight line. From here to here is a straight line. And we always talk about those two angles are supplementary, right? They add up to 180 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy the first angle, 6E plus 2. Now, I'm not going to put those parentheses around it because those parentheses are just telling you it's an angle measure. That can get a little confusing for kids because you think you maybe have to do the distributive property or something. You don't. That's just 6E plus 2. Plus, you still got to add the 82 on, and then we know that's going to be 180 degrees because it's a straight line and they're supplementary. Now, on this problem, on our left and right side, we've got to gather our chickens first, right? Well, in this case, it's going to be ducks because ducks are things without variables, right? So this is a chicken, this is a duck, and this is a duck, right? Those are called, in math, we really call those constants, but I like to call them ducks. I don't know why. I just have and just do. All right, so this is going to be 6E, and then you can add your ducks together, and let's see, that's 2 plus 82 is 84. And still equals 180. So that's the first step we're going to do. Now, this is going to be a two-step problem. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of addition and subtraction. We always get rid of addition and subtraction first, then multiplication and division. So what I want to get rid of, guys, is I want to get what I'm adding to the E first. I want to get rid of that plus 64 right there, guys. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to subtract plus 84, my bad. I'm going to subtract 84. And if I subtract 84 on this side, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 84 on this side. Those cancel out to 0. And so now I get 6E equals, well, what's 180 minus 84? Let's see here. So the 10 becomes, that's a 7, that's a 6. Let's see here, 17 minus 8, I believe is 9. So I'm getting E equals 96, right? E equals 96. 6E equals 96. So after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, now I've got to divide by 6 on both sides because I want to get rid of the multiplication. So now let's see here. I'll do the math on the side. Hopefully 6 goes into 96. I think it might. Let's see here. 6 goes into 9. Let's see, one time. And then that's 6. And then that's, that's 3, right? And then 36, that goes in 6. 6 times 6 is 36. So it looks like we get E equals 6, and that's our answer. Okay, and that was in box 8. So make sure you get that copied down. All right, flip your paper over, guys. Now we're on box 9. So let's take a look at this one. Well, this one looks fun. Look at this one, guys. This one looks pretty complicated, right? Is this scary for you? Nah, don't let it be scary because look, remember, you always want to look for those straight lines and right angles. So see that? That's a straight line right there, my friends, and that is 180 degrees. So those three angles that we have right there, guys, are going to add up to 180 degrees. So let's go ahead and write those down. So I have 9E plus 90, which is the right angle, plus the 5E plus 6 equals 180 degrees. I'll do my fairness bar just like that. Okay, so I got to gather some chickens and got to gather some ducks. So I've got some chickens here with the E's, and I've got some ducks, the constants, without E's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and gather those things right now. So let's see here, 9E plus 5E, well, that gives me 14E when I add the E's together. 90 plus 6, well, that just gives me plus 96. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get all that gathered. You guys see that? All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to subtract 96 from both sides because I want to get rid of the addition and subtraction first. So I'm going to subtract 96 from this side, and I'm going to subtract 96 from this side. Those will cancel out. I'll give myself a little bit more room here. A little bit more room, Mr. Roden. And then let's see here. I do the math. 14e will still be there, so on the left side, so 14e. And let's see here. We subtract. That becomes a 7. That becomes a 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. And then we get, what do we get here? We get, what do we get? 17 minus 9. What's that? That's going to be, 17 minus, if you take 17 minus 10, that's 7. So it's one, I'm getting 84. Am I right? Not 184, but 84. I think my math is correct there, hopefully. All right, so now let me just rewrite this. Sorry, guys, it's a little messy here. So we have 14e equals 84. All right, so divide both sides by 14, right? Okay, move that down just a little bit. And so now let's do the math here. 84 divided by 14. Let's see here. So, well, let me reduce this first. So 84 divided by 14, I can divide those by 2. Half of 84 is, well, 42, and half of 14 is 7. And I know 7 goes into 42 6 times, so I don't have to do any long division. Let's do that. 42 divided by 7 is 6. So I get E equals 6. I don't want to do long division with double digits. I like to just reduce it down and then divide. Sound good? Okay. All right. Why don't you guys go ahead and try this one on your own? This is number 10. This is on your own. I think you guys can do that. I was going to give a hint on number 10, but I think you can do number 10 on your own. So go ahead and try number 10 on your own. All right. Number 11. 11 is an interesting problem. So what's the word here, class? We kind of talked about this, but this is a good problem. If you notice this angle right here, the angle with the 4q minus 6, see that? And if you notice the angle here with the 78 degrees, those angles point to each other. And you can kind of see they make these sideways V's. Well, what does V stand for? V stands for vertical. Those are vertical angles. And we've talked about this in our notes before, class, that vertical angles are equal. Vertical angles are always equal to each other, okay? So if you ever see two angles that are pointing to each other like that, like the red angle and the blue angle, those angles are always equal. So what we can do is we can set the two angles equal to each other. So we know that 4q minus 6 equals 78, okay? Now, then we can just go ahead and do a fairness bar, left and right. And let's see here. Well, we can add 6 to both sides. Well, 8 plus 6 is, what's that, 14. Carry the 1, 7, 8. So we get 84 on the right side, and we get 4q on the left side. And then we just simply solve for q, guys. We just divide both sides by 4. And then we want to take 84 divided by 4. Some of you can do that in your head. I'll say, okay, well, 4 goes into 8. It's 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Bring down the 0. Bring down the 4. 4 goes into 4 one time. Remainder of 0. So we get 21. So Q is equal to 21. See that? All right, let's keep moving on. All right, how would we do this problem, guys? Well, this was a funsy problem. Let's take a look at this one. So we have Q minus 3, plus we have the 90-degree angle, plus we have the 46-degree angle, and that equals a straight line from here to here. So that equals 180 degrees. And I'm going to let you go ahead and finish the problem there. Go ahead and finish that problem. Solve for Q. So give me a fairness bar. I think we've seen enough of this already that you can go ahead and solve for Q on that one, okay? I'll let you go ahead and do that one on your own. So 12 is on your own. Okay? All right, let's keep going on. 13, we can do that one together. 13 is just going to be a straight line here, right? So what do we have? We have 2e minus 7 plus 49 equals 180. bring that down. Fairness bar, left, right. Okay, so 2e minus 7. Let's see, we can take these and we can subtract those. So we get 2e plus, what's that, 42? 49 minus 7 is 42, right? I believe that's correct math. It's 180. You can subtract 42 from both sides. So you're getting this. We got 2e. 2e equals, let's see here. That becomes a 10. That becomes an 8. That becomes a 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. 138. Then we divide both those by 2. I'll do that up here. 138 divided by 2. Well, 2 goes into 13 6 times. That's a 12. That's a 1. 2 goes into 18 9 times. 18, remainder of 0. So E equals 69. All right, let's move on, Mr. Roden. All right, number 14. That's on your own, guys. 14's on your own. You go ahead and do that. Let's see here. Okay, so this will be the last one, number 15. And so on this one, this is my favorite problem of the whole day because look, these are supplementary angles, right? So if we take 4W's minus 8, so if we take 4W minus 8 plus 3W plus 6, we know we're going to get 180 degrees. 180 degrees. Okay, so what's 4W plus 3W? Let me do a fairness bar really quick. 4W plus 3W is 7W. And then we have negative, let's see if we do a chart, negative positive chart. We've got 8 that's negative. We've got 6 that's positive. When they're on different sides, we subtract. So that's going to give me a negative, 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. So that's going to be a negative 2 because the negative is bigger, equals 180. Then we'll add 2 to both sides. So we'll get 7W equals 182. All right, hopefully 7 will go into 182, right, guys? So we'll put 182 here, put a 7 out here. 7 times 2 is 14. I think it's going to work. 18 minus 4 is 4. Bring down the 2. 7 goes into 42 6 times. So now 42, remainder of 0, so W equals 26. All right, guys, so hopefully you got these things done here, and you turn this into your teacher at the end. If you're home, if it happens something, we don't have school or something, because it's a snow day. I don't think it's going to be a snow day, but if it is, you can just do this at home. And yeah, so have a great day. And if you get done early, just do Dreambox and have a wonderful rest of your day and a awesome Thanksgiving break. See you later. Bye.